Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, A Disney Bride's Diary. So today on this video, it is going to be a video compilation of me and my husband's anniversary trip. Now, our anniversary trip was 1 month before COVID hit, so we were super grateful that we were able to take it. So as you can see here, we went to Fort Lauderdale International Airport, took a flight to Detroit. We had to go from Detroit to Seoul Incheon Airport here in South Korea. So as you can see here, my husband is playing with the directory here, which was a cute little robot. And then from South Korea, our final destination was Bangkok, Thailand. We were in Bangkok for about 2 days, and the flight in total was about 22 to 23 hours. Combined. We decided to just do it all in one shot, and we figured we just sleep on the plane, so we didn't stay at a hotel anywhere. It was just a round trip flight. So as you can see here, that flight is taking off out of South Korea, and I just had to film the whole thing because it's super cool to be able to say that you flew out of South Korea. And here we are, next stop, Bangkok, Thailand. So once we arrived in Bangkok, Thailand, we saw this huge rat just tearing up this garbage bag. But basically we took a taxi from the airport to our resort, which was Amari Watergate Resort. I can't believe I didn't get any video of the actual resort, but back then I wasn't doing this whole YouTube thing, so I was just enjoying the memories. And this is us taking a tuk-tuk for our first time. You basically there's no padding on the tuk-tuk. You just sit there in a flat area on the back of this motorcycle type contraption. It was super fun. It went very fast. But here we are. Our tuk-tuk driver is taking us to the temple. And I highly recommend if you go to Thailand, there's some things you have to do. You have to do the tuk-tuk. You have to take the Batong boat. Those are just things that Thailand is known for. Our driver was very nice. Now they do try to scam you somewhat, and they try to take you to this little market area to sell you some suits and fabric. If they offer to do that, I would not recommend that. Just tell them you want to go on the tuk-tuk, you want to go from point A to point B, because once you get into that tourist trap, it's hard to get out because you have to tell them no, 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 and you just don't want to put yourself in that situation. So if they're telling you they're taking you to a market to buy suits or fabrics, tell them no. So here we are at the Wat Arun temple. It was absolutely beautiful and stunning. If you do walk into the temple areas, you do have to take your shoes off. You can only have socks on, and there is no photography allowed inside the actual temple. So you will see I got all the outside of the temple, as much footage as I could. You could buy some offerings there to bring inside the temple. But once again, inside there was no video footage allowed. So it was quite the experience to see these armed guards here walking all around. There's a heavy guarded presence all around the temple, and you can just see that there with those guards walking around. This was actually the front main entrance of the temple, so it's kind of in a backwards sequence here for the video purposes. But now next up, we did decide to take a Patong boat ride. It was a quick ride. But once again, when we took this boat ride, they did take us to that little suit market area where we had to tell them, no, we're not interested in fabrics. But it is an amazing experience. And then back on the tuk-tuk, we were to head back to our resort and then enjoy some Thai street food. Thailand is also known for their amazing street food, their amazing, delicious pad Thai. So here you can see some of that food there. We were worried about food poisoning, but honestly, obviously, you see the locals here eating as well. We did not get food poisoning. So here we are taking another ride around. Now this is actually the ride from once we arrived to Phuket. We drove from we didn't drive. We took a little scoot airplane from Bangkok to Phuket. And this is us arriving to our next destination in Phuket. We stayed at the Charm Resort in Phuket, which is beautiful. It's nestled there in the mountains. And it does have like an infinity pool, which you will see in a little while if you want to fast forward ahead. But there it's in very lush mountainous area, which was absolutely beautiful. You could just hear the nature, and just the smell was amazing of, just the clean air that they have. It's hard to describe, but if you're going to Phuket, I would highly recommend that resort. And here we are taking our first excursion in Phuket to the Phi Phi Islands. So that is another must do on the list, is to go to the Phi Phi Islands. The Phi Phi Islands are known for the movie The Beach that was filmed by Leonardo DiCaprio. He has a scene there in the Phi Phi Islands. And this is us walking on this floating bridge to our boat. And the boat takes us to those different islands. Now, it was so hard to walk on this floating bridge. I don't know if it was a mental thing because we knew that there were no guardrails on the side, but when you're just there trying to balance yourself in the middle of this bridge, trying not to fall off, it's so difficult. So here we are on that boat ride, taking us to the Phi Phi Islands. And it takes you to several of them for this particular excursion. So this was one of the little islands. Just the water was super clear, beautiful. You can see those large rock formations that they take you around. It's just beautiful, beautiful scenery that you really can't see anywhere else. Now, also found on these rock formations, as you can see, I'm zooming in here, are monkeys. These monkeys, they will jump, you see them catching food right there, but they will jump from the rock cliff to your boat, so they couldn't pull up very close because they would have jumped onto our boat. But they do feed them little treats, bananas, and you can see that monkey just enjoying one of the treats that was thrown to it. I thought that was super cool. So this excursion that we did was a Phi Phi Islands half-day tour. It was not the full-day tour because we wanted to maximize our time, and that tour was through Phuket Easy Tour. So if you Google them, Phuket Easy Tour will come up, and then you'll see the different packages that they have, and this one was the Phi Phi Islands half-day. I think it was the perfect amount of time. It started from in the morning, and then we arrived back, I believe, maybe like 2:30 or 3:30, don't quote me on that, but it was just the perfect amount of time because then you can get back to your resort, enjoy some of the resort. And we were island hopping, so that just really maximized our time by doing that half-day tour. And you can see here we're doing a little spin around. Now, a lot of people, they like to take Patong boat tours around this area because then they flip off the boats into the water. So here we are in the Phuket. We had a little street market that was right across the street from our resort. And you can see here they're making some ice cream for us. And I'm just going to show you the whole process. They have this back in the United States as well, but here you can just see, a street vendor doing their thing. It was super delicious. And this is just some out of sequence footage, but this is from under the water at the Phi Phi Islands. You can see those zebra type fish. I had brought my GoPro along. I don't use my GoPro anymore because it's an older model, but the GoPro got really good underwater footage. And the water was super clear, so it really helped with that footage. Now we had a day to enjoy the resort, and here's that infinity pool. They did have a swim up bar as well, which you will see. They had Bacardi rum. Well, actually, sorry, not Bacardi rum. They had Havana Club, which is from Cuba. And they're making some little drinks there. And once again, that's that float up bar, which is really nice. One thing we really enjoyed in Phuket was the sunsets. Now, on top of the Charm Resort, they do have a rooftop area that you can just enjoy the scenery. So I'm showing that around here. This is one of the Phuket sunsets, which is absolutely breathtaking. And then we decided to go out again this night and take a tour of the street vendors once again. Because like I said, that's something that's really big in Thailand. If you're going to go to Thailand, the street markets are one of the must-do things. And there was one lady, she's right here. I don't want to show her face for privacy reasons for her, but she made the best pad thai ever. It was fresh, it was delicious, and I believe it was like $3 for a huge portion. And you can see her making it here. Honestly, the best pad thai ever. And here we are, we're taking off from Phuket, and we are taking one of the little jets to head to Singapore. So to get to Bali, you do have to stop in Singapore. So it's from Phuket to Singapore, from Singapore to Bali. Now, I was excited about going to Singapore because inside of their airport, they have the world's largest indoor waterfall. So you take the little tram inside the airport and you can either just go right through. We didn't have time to stop and actually go into the waterfall area, but we did have time to take the little tram ride and get to go right by the indoor waterfall. It was really breathtaking, and you will see it coming up here. It was huge and just absolutely beautiful. So there we are, just passing that waterfall again. So Singapore's airport is also known as Changi Airport. It had to be one of the most beautiful airports I've ever seen in my life. And we've been to a lot of airports. Just the scenery was amazing. So here we are, we took a taxi from the airport and to our Kamandalu Ubud resort in Bali. Now this resort, we had our own private pool. It was basically like a villa with your own outdoor bathtub, and then you have the little private villa area there with your private pool. This is a must-do if you're going to Bali, and especially if you're on your honeymoon. And here we are, we're opening up our villa for the first time. Well, my husband was in there, so it couldn't have been the first time, but it was me getting ready to do the tour of the room. We got this romance package, so that included like a little cake and the decor and the rose petals in the bathtub. It was super romantic, giving all the honeymoon vibes. Now there were huge, you can see here, huge privacy barrier walls all around. So if you want to shower out there, you can. I didn't do it, but I did enjoy the bathtub. And there's that cake that I was talking about that said happy anniversary. They give you fresh fruits. And of course you have your balcony here. So when we got there, it was pretty late at night. Well, not that late, but it was like 8 p.m. so it was already dark. Now here we are on our first excursion the day after. And me and my husband got our own private tour to where we were going to the Lempunyang Temple. I'm sorry if I killed that name, but I will put it in captions here so you see how it's spelled. And also the Tirtha Ganga water area, which you will see up ahead. And as you're driving around in Bali, you will see the volcano there in the distance and all of these rice fields. So these are the fields where they make their rice. And whenever you see like the little squiggly line with a pond of water, that is a rice field. So that inactive volcano is actually called Mount Agung. And we were going to an excursion where it's called Heaven's Gates, And in the background is Mount Agung, that inactive volcano. So if you look up Lumpuyang Temple, you will see why people go there and the shots that they try to get. Here, while we're waiting to take our pictures, there were people going up the temple to do their offerings. These were locals. And in another video, I will try to do maybe just pictures of those temple pictures and why we went there. And you can kind of see like all the final pictures and see if it's worth it to you if you want to go and do these excursions. But I highly recommend it. It was just an amazing, beautiful experience. And there's more of those mountainous scenes. So me and my husband, after our first 2 stops, we did go, like I said, to that temple, and then we went to that Tirtaganga water area. We were so exhausted. We ended up falling asleep in our taxi. And because we fell asleep, our driver decided to take us to a coffee plantation area and just to wake us up, which was unexpected, but I don't recommend both of you falling asleep if you are taking one of those tours. So here we are at Tirtaganga. One of the reasons I wanted to go here was for that beautiful shot. And you can see you have to walk on these tiny little stones that are surrounded by water. And then here's where we made it to that coffee plantation area. It was pretty good. They let you also taste different teas, coffees. My husband there grounding some coffee and learning the coffee making process in Bali. Now, another must-do in Bali is the monkey jungle. It's actually called the monkey sanctuary. And this is where you're walking through the areas and the monkeys, they're just roaming free. This was insane to us because the monkeys are so smart. They actually jump on your back. They opened up my backpack and tried taking some of my items out of my backpack. So they're sneaky little monkeys, but they are just so adorable. This is definitely a must-do on your trip to Bali. Once again, that is the monkey sanctuary forest. And they're just here chilling, walking around. You can feed them also with food that they give you. There was one monkey in particular that actually took a lady's wallet and then he threw it up in the top of the tree. So one of the co-workers, or not the co-workers, one of the employees, what they will do is they will take a slingshot and they will have to slingshot the monkey to drop the items that they're taking from the tourists. We had some little naughty monkeys here doing their thing. Just fast forward if you don't want to see that. But here we are just walking through.
To me, do you feel the same? Am I on a dreaming? Is this morning and at no place? Sing my name, sunshine to the rain, the whole life so lonely. Can easy be the pain.
And I'll just let you listen to a little bit of John Lennon here singing and serenading us with his harmonica and guitar.
Your eyes, give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beat?
So So yeah, guys, this was our honeymoon. We basically fit a bunch of islands and destinations in 7 to 8 days. So we went from Fort Lauderdale Airport to Detroit Airport, Detroit to South Korea to Bangkok, Thailand. Spent a couple of days in Bangkok, then went to Phuket. From Phuket, we went to Bali, and in the middle there we visited Singapore, and then obviously from Bali, our final destination, we went back home. If you can do that, I highly recommend it. I love that we fit as much things as possible. Now we have a son and we were just able to get that traveling out of the way. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.